Today's video, my weekly no spend update and 101 potential tax deductions for influencers, vloggers, podcasters, and bloggers. Hello everyone, my name is Misty Nicole with LadyPrefersToSave.com and welcome to another no spend challenge update. I want to start off, as all my Wednesday videos, with giving a little bit of an update about what's going on with my challenge, which has been going pretty well. I haven't had any major deductions, anything I had to pay for or services, so I'm pretty excited about that. I did incur a little bit of a fee with having to go beyond my allocated health budget because earlier last week several people in my family were ill, but I just kind of switched some slush funds around and took care of that. So I'm not going to really deduct that or consider that a cost, although I did spend on some holistic medicine there and a co-payment for the physician. I also did have to buy a few brushes and things like that, which I took out of a household fund for starting painting at home, which I'm super excited about. I've been wanting to do it for many months now, and as you know, as a minimalist, they often recommend, often the experts, such as, Marie Kondo, recommended in her last book, Spark Joy, if you are just finishing up a major declutter, give yourself some time to decompress and really enjoy the space, and then intentionally bring in new pieces, change your walls, change your art, things like that. And so I'm ready to really delve into that and hopefully put up a few updates with that accordingly for Friday videos. But in the meanwhile, I did have to spend $24 on brushes. It did come out of a fee, so in full disclosure, I did want to mention that. Aside from the co-payment, the brushes, and a few, medical necessities, I didn't have to spend anything in the last week. I also actually didn't buy groceries last week. I had such a stockpile of veggies and fruit and things in our freezer and had more than I needed to make sushi bowls, Buddha bowls, chili, and several meals at home that I didn't have to spend anything, so that was more better. And coming into spring, I'm really excited because I know that a lot of products that we use a lot at home as plant-based people and for my own personal vegan diet are starting to drop dramatically, as are in April in most parts in the United States. Strawberry and pineapple and guava and papaya prices are getting ready to drop. So I will be jumping on those and using the funds that I didn't need for several weeks of buying groceries to really stock up on those items that I can dehydrate and freeze. So I'm really excited about that. In terms of March, I'm going to do a separate budgeting video, I believe Monday. I want to include my menu and some other things going on, so I will delve more into finances in that video. But I would like to say that moving nearly into Q2 in the next few weeks, I am super excited to announce that I have saved thus far with my No Spend Challenge almost $4,200. And these are funds that I am going to allocate towards some long-term saving goals that my family has. Keep in mind that we are debt-free and we have been for many years. So I think a lot of people have a misconception that if you're doing a no spend challenge, it's merely to pay down debt. And if you are, that's great. I'm just doing so for savings purposes. And I would really recommend periodically, even if you are debt free, to do the same. It's a great way to reprioritize how much you're spending and to really focus and be intentional on the funds that you really want to be spending at home. And you have a lot of time to think, like, do you really want to be giving business here versus there? It gives you more time to shop locally. It gives you more time to focus on things that are important to you. For me, that includes zero waste shopping, living as a minimalist, trying to lose weight, trying to up my health, making sure that everything in my medicine cabinets at home are more holistic, shopping at businesses that align with my moral compass. These are things that are important to me, and when I'm not spending frivolously, I have a lot more time to be intentional in those pursuits, and I absolutely love it. And on top of that, saving $4,200 is pretty awesome on top of that. And as anybody knows, savings is I also wanted to include today's Wednesday Ways to Save from my Facebook Live that I recorded earlier today, and that's all about the 101 tax deductions that you may qualify for as an influencer, as a blogger, as a vlogger, as a podcaster, as someone who is a professional at, say, Instagram or Snapchat in the pursuit of being a travel blogger. There's so many tax deductions that you may qualify for, so I'm going to let you hop right into that video now. Nicole from theladypreferstosave.com, and welcome to another Wednesday Ways to Save. Today I will be discussing 101 potential tax deductions for influencers, vloggers, and podcasters. While I recognize that a lot of people have already filed, I do know that a lot of people in our industry report taxes quarterly, and some people still haven't filed, and this may even be a great reference for people for next year. So I'm literally just going to go straight down the list of some potential deductions for you, and then after the video I will link a post URL for you to check out. As always, please be sure to ask any and all questions that you have or email me after watching the broadcast at theladypreferstosave@gmail.com or nicole@theladypreferstosave.com. I'd love to answer your questions, and without further ado, I'm going to get right into the video. So, a few of the reasons that I decided to compile this list is because for a long time I went to tax preparers who were awesome at family finance and financial success in general, but really weren't familiar with people who worked online beyond the nuclear business or small at-home businesses, or usually the standard was just to kind of use something like QuickBooks and Quicken, and I found that that really wasn't answering my questions. So over the past few years, I've been compiling a list of deductions and things that might help me in my endeavors, and I think that they may help you as well. So I'm just going to start reading down the list, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. A few of these will be for blogging, again, some for podcasting, but you'll get the gist. So first, video equipment depreciation. If your cameras and editing software need to be replaced, consider that you can get 20% back on your equipment each year for 5 years. This has been a tax law since 2012, so it might be something that you can use. Also consider your advertising cost, home office usage in terms of your space within your home, self-usage as long as it is a business line and dedicated to your business, professional advice. If you have used services that help you look over and critique your blog or your YouTube account, you can deduct those services each year. You can also deduct your gas mileage, like driving to the airport, picking up supplies. Even if you are in the process of, say, a YouTube collab, you can deduct those miles. Make sure that you're keeping the receipts and paperwork for that. Also, save all your correspondence for your conference fees because most of those are deductible, as is video editing software, data storage, home phone line, again, that's dedicated to your office space, clothing that is used for your business or in the process of, say, an influencer site. If you are using an outfit specific to a campaign on Instagram, you will probably be able to deduct that as well. Also consider you can deduct for things like photo props, backdrops, backgrounds, blue screens, green screens. You can also deduct personal expenses if 80% of that necessary expense was used for your business alone. Also with trips, if the sole purpose of the trip was in conducting business for your online business or otherwise, make sure you're keeping those receipts. You may be able to deduct that as well. Also work-related art. If you're using stock photography, that's tax deductible. Also photo lenses. Keep all receipts for that because you may be able to deduct that, as you could for printers, lighting equipment, scanners, laminators, stencil makers, and even things like trade show fees. You can deduct those fees, so definitely keep receipts. If you've had and let's expand this. If you are an influencer as your side hustle and you have a primary place of employment, if you have had to leave work for a review purpose or for meeting with a cast of a movie or an interview or what have you, you would be able to deduct those expenses, so keep all of those receipts. Also, consider that you can deduct for things like web design costs, for work-related books such as manuals or books on finance or books on working on your software, or like those guides, 101 dummy whatever it is. You probably could deduct those, so definitely keep the receipts if you use Amazon or a bookseller to purchase those. Also, researching fees, specifically niche specific research fees such as TubeBuddy or Creator Analyst software. Those are tax deductible, so definitely keep those. LLC costs. If you are in the process of turning your endeavors into a limited liability corporation, those fees are deductible, so definitely keep receipts accordingly, as would be postage, such as mailing giveaway prizes to recipients or snail mail pitches to companies. You can deduct those fees off of your taxes, including your scale and metered equipment thereof. Also considering if you take educational classes that are accredited coursework, you can deduct those as well. Also, if your class is over $200 and it's such as, for example, blogger training or major coursework, you can deduct that as well. You can also deduct for subscriptions for research and data management sites. You can also deduct software licensing fees, such as things like Adobe Suite. You can deduct those from your taxes. Also, if you need to buy custom chargers, say that you receive an item, even if it's for review, you would of course pay tax on that item you received as a review. But if you have to go out and buy an adapter or a charger or some accoutrement for that, you can deduct that from your taxes. Again, tax software, you can deduct that. Trademark and copyright fees, newsletter services online, you can deduct that fee. You can deduct fees for live apps such as the Be Live, video conferencing fees, fees that you have accrued for business-only expenses on sites like Skype, you could as well. Virtual assistant courses, again, if it is taught in the process to make you certified by someone who themselves is certified in your niche specific field, you can deduct those fees. Paralegal fees, notary fees, business lunches and meetings, that goes without saying, definitely keep receipts to those. Self-storage fees for business equipment, things that you need to store seasonally, you can deduct that as well, including also notary fees, antivirus software, long distance bills that are business related only. Work repair for your car or your vehicle that is only used for the pursuit of business, you can deduct that. Losses for equipment, if you have something stolen. I've had this happen. I had a camera stolen several years ago at a conference. You can deduct that. Also, you can deduct your website hosting fees, domain costs, redirect fees. You can also deduct freelance photography fees, archival fees. Business cards. Consider keeping all the receipts for your business printables and your business cards, including if you're going to a conference and you're passing out, merch, swag, cards, building those business relations, those digital, Rolodex, Filodex, if you will. Definitely do that, because not only are you putting yourself out there, there's still some people that really enjoy having a business card. I know that even as a minimalist, I still keep business cards, especially for local businesses, and I like to refer to those first, so definitely consider that if you're going in that pursuit or to conferences. Also, your letterhead, stationery, again, your promotional swag, you can deduct. Your computer upgrades for business-only laptops, PCs, tablets, 2-in-1 or all-in-one systems can be deducted. Also, for your hotel expenses, again, as well as for review trips. P.O. Box fees. The P.O. Box for your business can be deducted, making sure that each time you make a payment, you are screenshotting off the USPS site, or for your UPS box, keep all the correspondence for that, because that is deductible. Also, you can deduct for the cost of hosted giveaways. If you've bought something such as the feature on Amazon.com where you can purchase something to give away on your site, definitely screenshot, keep all the receipts to those, that's deductible. Also, up to 20% of your internet bill each month throughout the year, including Wi-Fi and box rentals, is tax deductible. So if you are, or rather whomever your service provider is, keep the correspondence with that because 20% is a deduction for you. Also, you can deduct, and this is great, especially if you are a podcaster, microphones, sound mixers, sound filters, podcast editing software, your uploading service fees, your podcast and YouTube hosting fees, all deductible. Also, you can deduct, if you're a podcaster, for your advertising fees, as well as the fees that you accrued for both podcasting and YouTube for your intro, outro fees. Definitely keep all correspondence with that, including if you're using Fiverr to do so. Also, you can deduct for inslates for YouTubers and bloggers. Also, if you are having fees for doing particular month-long video series, such as a particular music fee or a graphic or something that is related to that specifically within that business, including Vlogmas, Vlogtober, Bloguary, definitely keep everything with that because you can deduct it. Also, you can deduct furniture leasing fees for, say, your office space or what have you. Definitely keep all of your information from that. If you paint your business space, including the walls, ceiling, trim work, woodwork, furniture, including custom paint such as milk paint, chalk paint, sponge painting, and all of the brushes and everything that goes with it, you can deduct that. Also, you can deduct for recipe plugins for your site. You can also deduct for card reading fees if you are someone who does remote sales or someone who is perhaps an Etsy seller, or you work in even a farmer's market. If it is a business that is tied to your primary blog or blogger, what have you, you can deduct that as well. Antivirus plugins, you can deduct those. Framework upgrades, including the Genesis platform, is deductible. You can also deduct for makeup, nails, and hair products if they are used for the creation of something within your blog. For example, if you are creating new headshots, you could deduct the fees of having your hair and makeup and nails professionally done. If you are adding photos to your About Me page or your media kit, you could definitely deduct those as well. You cannot, however, use as a deduction products related to hair, skin, nails, etc. in, say, a YouTube haul video, because you're more than likely using those for purposes outside of your business, so that would not be deductible. Again, headshots, portfolio creation, media kit, you can deduct those fees, as you can filter apps. A lot of people use filter apps, especially for Instagram and Snapchat. You can deduct those as well. You can also deduct for app fees for creating thumbnails or even for editing your YouTube videos. If you have purchased those, again, from the Google Drive or Google Play, I believe it's called, or from iTunes and iOS, definitely keep the receipts that you receive in email from that. You can also deduct union fees. A lot of people in our line of work are members of the Communication Workers of America. There are other smaller and up-and-coming blogging and vlogging unions as well. You can definitely deduct those fees that you have accrued each month. You can also deduct your healthcare cost, a percentage of that, up to 30% of your accrued cost, if your sole line of work is an influencer, whether that be YouTube, blogging, vlogging, what have you. You can deduct those. You can also deduct for services, including auditing services. Up to 8% of people annually are audited. It's sometimes just systematic, sometimes it's random. We just don't know. That's not information that the feds would ever tell us. But you might be part of that 8%, even if everything is above board. So if you are paying for pre-auditing protection or post-audit intervention, you can deduct those fees. You can also deduct for things like paper shredding, binding fees. especially if you are an Etsy shop owner and you need to have things professionally laminated and bound for you that you are secondary selling in your shop. You can deduct those fees. You can also deduct for teaching expenses if you yourself are teaching a course, whether in person or online. You can deduct for manuscript fees, self-publishing fees. You can also deduct for professional manuscript and stenographer fees as well. You can also deduct for app creation fees. If you're in the process of creating an app for your particular business, those fees would be deductible, as would be professional organization fees, in which you are having someone come into your business space only, including your closets and files and what have you, and professionally organizing that, that would be deductible. You can also deduct planners. One planner only that is business related, not hobbyist planners. Those would not be deductible, nor would, say, washi tape or calligraphy pens or whatever. But if you have one general use business planner, you can deduct that each year. You can also deduct for gift guide fees. If you use a service that requires you to go above and beyond for the creation of your online gift guide, you can deduct those fees. You can also deduct for printable fees for any for-profit printable that you are selling on your site. For the creation of that printable, you can use those fees on your taxes. You can also deduct for writing instruments, including stylus pens, if they're for your business only. You can also deduct for after-post reports that you are sending back for sponsored campaigns as a blogger. You can deduct that. You can also deduct for scheduled posting costs, such as Tailwind and Tribe building sites. You can also deduct for agent and PR fees. And with that said, those are 101 tax-deductible fees that you may not have been aware of as an influencer that may help you moving forward. And I do hope that you will consider some of these in the near future if you have not filed, or again next year if you are obviously going to file. And with that said, thank you so much for watching this Wednesday's Ways to Save. I want to again apologize for not being on last week. I was under the weather and this past weekend had severe back pain, but I'm feeling a little bit better and hoping to be a lot more consistent in my Wednesday posting. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will put the URL to my post that you can see in the description underneath this video. Thank you again so much for watching, and as always, please be kind to yourself and to others and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks. All right, everyone, that is my update for the week. That is also my Facebook Live video, and I hope that you'll be able to ascertain some information that may help you in your own particular online pursuits moving forward. I do realize that a lot of people have, again, already filed, but this may just be a little bit of information that you need going ahead. I will include in the description bar below the URL to that post. I'll also go ahead and include, for those who may not have seen it, the URLs to my online savings community and my online 2018 No Spend Challenge. And with that, we are at the end of February, and I am super excited about it. And so I want to ask you guys, how has your month gone? Did you save more than you thought? Did you have some spending challenges? Are you really staying on task and on budget? Did you have to shift some things around? Let me know how you're doing if you have any questions. Or if you don't want to leave a comment below, you can definitely contact me at nicole@theladypreferstosave.com. I would love to answer your questions or put you in touch with some people that may be able to better address whatever your concerns are. As always, I wish you the best in terms of financial success and budgeting and minimalism and your journey to whatever that may be. I hope that your pursuits are fantastic. I would encourage you to make today a personal care day, a self-administrative day, to make a list of goals for the next month, to see where you're at in terms of your family, where you want to be within the next quarter and throughout the rest of the year, and really get laser focused on what you want to achieve, whether that be finances, family, financial success, your business, what have you. Definitely take today, make those plans, create a list. I always say that once it's in writing, it cements my belief system. Once I have written it down and I can see it and I can utilize that for the rest of the month. Make sure that you're also going back over your vision boards. Make sure that you are checking your bullet journal. Make sure you are on top of everything you need to be on top of. You are your best success tool, and whatever that is, I wish you only the best in that pursuit. I like to think of success like tea. My tea may be different than your tea, but I hope that that tea warms your body, it nourishes your soul, it expands your perspective, and it makes your disposition better. With that said, thank you so much for watching. I would love it if you'd hit that little red subscribe button, turn on notifications, give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment. I'd love to answer all the comments on my videos. And as always, please be kind to yourself and to others and have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching and happy upcoming March.